Hello, but welcome back to Stevens Fieldhouse. Scott Heinley and Jared O'Kander with you for the call of the men's game, and it should be a dandy as both teams come in at 9-3. BV leads the conference at 3-0 net, and Upper Iowa comes in at 2-1. They lost their game last night at Simpson by 24 points. That was kind of a surprise. We didn't really expect that to happen. And as we look for the keys to this game, what do you look for?
Well, I think what the Beavers need to do is they need to continue to ride this 6-game winning streak that they're on. They're playing super basketball right now, and if they just continue to ride this wave and try to get the Upper Iowa Peacocks down early, then hopefully they can come out with the big W.
All right, so we're looking forward to an excellent contest. We've already seen the women win so far, and the men's game should be even better. So stay tuned for the call of the men's game coming up in a matter of moments. You're watching Innovation Video Sports.
Extra, extra, read all about it. You heard right. Subway has 6 mouth-watering sandwiches that are 97% fat-free with fewer than 350 calories. But these sandwiches are 100% filled with fresh baked bread and fresh vegetables such as onions, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, green peppers, and black olives. A work of art. Let a sandwich artist make you a healthy and fresh sandwich from Subway. 1125 North Lake Avenue, Storm Lake.
Don't you look?
Okay, welcome back to Stevens Fieldhouse, and we're introducing the starting lineups tonight. For BV, it's going to be O.J. Freilich at forward along with Nick Denlinger. Nick was named our player of the game last night for his outstanding performance. The man in the middle is Jamie Wilson, a 6'4 senior. The guard cord looks like this: Brian Schmalbeck and Aaron Bloom, the 2 junior guards.
And for the Upper Iowa Peacocks, the starters, a little bit of a change in their starting lineup. Brian Smith, their leading scorer, who averages about 14 a game, isn't starting. Their starters will be Kevin Clipperton, who averages 13 a game. He's a senior. Brent Sherrill, who's a forward type. He's 6'5", and he's a junior, averages about 12. Rob Russ is a guard, a senior guard, averaging about 9, and he's going to be the starting. Ray Lewis averages about 6.5, and he's important coming off the bench usually, but he's going to start this evening. He's only a sophomore. And Michael Windblade, who had a terrific game last year against the Beavers, averaging 7 points and tough on the boards. He's going to play the forward center position, only a sophomore. Okay, a packed house here, Scott.
That's right. They have shown up in great numbers. One of the biggest crowds I've seen in a long time here at the field house, Jared, and we are ready for basketball. Both teams exchanging handshakes, but you can bet that once this ball tips, the courtesies will be forgotten.
Well, I think what you'll see in the opening minutes, Scott, is both teams will probably be a little nervy since it is a pretty big game for both teams. But I think that it'll be like 2 heavyweight fighters. They'll feel each other out the first few minutes, and then they'll get into playing some real good, excellent basketball.
Again, this game for the lead in the conference. Of course, if Upper Iowa wins, they will hold a tiebreaker against BV so far, since they would have won. So Upper Iowa gets the tip, and immediately they'll work it outside for the 3. No good. Jamie Wilson there with the rebound.
Nice job there by Jamie Wilson. He averages in double digits in rebounds at about 10.5 a game.
BV using the same starting lineup as last night. Brian Schmalbeck works his way underneath and gets the first 2 points of the game for the Beavers.
Nice job by Schmalbeck of penetrating that Peacock defense. Nice pull-up jumper from 10.
The junior guard from Belmont, Iowa, averaging 7 points a game. And there's Jamie Wilson. So Wilson comes up with a couple big defensive plays here early. And Aaron Bloom's wide open in the corner. He fakes a 3-point shot. But Nick Denlinger will take it. This time he's off. Number 42, Mike Windblade, on the rebound for the Peacocks.
Denlinger shot just about 75 3-point buckets on the year. He's only made about 32% of them, but he likes to shoot the ball.
Inside, Brett Sherrill couldn't get the shot to go down. Brett Sherrill from Washington, D.C., and he can play basketball. Averaging 11.5 points and 7 rebounds a game. BB with that tough man-to-man defense. The crowd already into it in the early goings. A shot by Sherrill, no good. And
jump ball is going to be Beavers' possession since the Peacocks got the ball off the jump. Nice job by Jamie Wilson of fighting underneath. He's really strong on the boards, and it looked like there was maybe an over-the-back call, nothing called. And so the referee called a jump ball as it went out of bounds.
So right now, Upper Iowa comes out, and Bloom hits the baseline shot. Aaron Bloom averaging the leading scorer for BB, averaging 15 points a game. And the Beavers are up 4-0 here. Upper Iowa comes in with more height than the Beavers. Their starters are 6'5", 6'5", 6'6", along the front line, and the BB's tall starter, Jared, is 6'4".
Yeah, but if you look at them out there, they look like they're all about the same height. And really it's going to come down to defensive positioning and taking care of the ball.
Nice shot by Sherrill. Hook.
Sherrill's their leading rebounder. He averages about 12 points a game as well.
Schmalley the dish to Bloom. Bloom's going to try it again. He sinks it from three-point land. Aaron Bloom connects his first shot from downtown tonight.
Bloom's shooting 43% on the year from three-point range. He's our leading three-point shooter, and he just proved why he is right there.
O.J. Freilich counting the ball. Just underway here, 17 minutes to go in first half action. Sherrill gets the ball underneath, and he might have walked with it, but Denlinger says, get that out of here. And Freilich is fouled on the rebound.
Denlinger, surprisingly, is the leading shot blocker for the Beavers. What he has that other people don't have is a real sense of timing, and he's able to time his jump in order to block those shots. Last night, I think he had 4 alone.
And of course, he's gifted with those long arms, which doesn't hurt either. So the Beavers up by 5 here, trying to build on their lead. Denlinger for 3. And he goes back in again. The second 3 of the game. Denlinger and Bloom connecting from downtown early, giving the Beavers a 10-2 lead.
Nice ball movement there by the Peacocks.
He called it, Jared. That's number 34, Ray Lewis from Texas, getting inside and doing the damage.
The Peacocks are in a little bit of a matchup zone right now. You'll see that they'll kind of switch on the screens, and they'll kind of play a band who's in their position.
As you see, they trap the ball up top, and Aaron Bloom draws the foul. It's going to be on Lewis.
Nice job by Bloom there, dribbling out of the trap.
Excuse me, that foul's on Sherrill.
And Sherrill just tried to stop him. Actually, it's going to be on Brian Smith, Scott, who came into the game as a sub.
That's his first foul. We saw in the women's game that fouls were a problem. We had 2 players for the Peacocks foul out and 2 players for BB having 4 fouls. There's Freilich from three-point land. Freilich connects the third three-pointer in the first 5 minutes for BB, and they're off to a great start, a 9-point lead.
Well, we're seeing the opposite of what we saw last night. The Beavers are on all cylinders, it seems, coming out ready to play ball in front of a packed crowd. It certainly isn't going to deter from their performance, I'm sure. It helps when you're playing a quality competition as well. Nice interior passing there by the Peacocks.
And number 30, Tony Seahas, who's checked into the game from Chipotle, Iowa, draws the foul. And Tony Seahas has got some height on him, 6'8", and he's only a sophomore.
Nate Gorkin coming into the game, giving Brian Schmalbach a break.
As we mentioned at the top, this game has all the makings of a big game atmosphere. Seahawks no good on the free throws. Bjorken calling out the offense. Bjorken and Schmalbach will take turns directing the offense, as Coach Van Haften likes. And Nick Denlinger drives in baseline. That's a tough shot. Jared, he's double teamed on that one as well.
Super job of cutting through the double team there. He did get double teamed, was able to use his great body control to slice through both of them and get the easy lay-in.
And the score is 15-4 early. And this is certainly... And there you see BB forces the travel, so the defense has taken charge of this game.
Well, what you're seeing is you're seeing the Beavers play a straight-up man-to-man, and when they get it into the post, they double or triple down on that post, and the post just doesn't know quite what to do with it.
All right. Right now, Stacy Mraz has got a few BB fans down on the floor, so we're going to go, and Stacy, what do you got for us?
Look at these fans from Buena Vista. Whatever possessed you guys to paint yourself a blue? School spirit. Is it something we don't want to know about?
Yeah.
Can you guys read that? All right, thanks a lot, you guys.
All right.
Okay, Stacy Mraz, thanks. He's got some avid Beaver fans down on the floor, and they are out in full force tonight, coming in face painted, T-shirts with players' names on it and whatnot.
Certainly some disillusioned young men down there, it seems to me. Scott.
Yes, maybe they need some psychological...
Especially that Garrick McFadden kid. Trouble with a capital T. Well, the Beavers coming out on top of their game. I'm really impressed, and I was expecting the quality of play that we're seeing so far. Really good ball movement. Nobody's being too selfish with it. Super job. You know, like we said, they're running on all cylinders. Let's see what the Peacocks can do to try to counteract this offensive explosion from the Beavers.
Today's broadcast of BV Upper Iowa Basketball Doubleheader sponsored by Silkscreen Inc. See the friendly people at Silkscreen Inc. for all your screen printing needs. Bjorken pressure to get it into Matt Jansen, who's now checked into the game. Jansen driving baseline. He's fouled and misses the shot, but he'll be on the line shooting two.
And when Matt Jansen goes to the line, he's the best free throw shooter for the Beavers. He also gets to the line more than anybody else. He's shooting 24 of 31 from the free throw line for 77% on the season. So for a big man, he does a super job of putting it in the hole once he gets to the free throw line. Nice job of drawing the foul. That one's going to be on number 42, Mike Windblade. His first personal, team third.
For the season, Matt Jansen shooting 77% from the line. Trying to extend to a 12-point lead for the Beavers. 14 minutes to go, first half action from the field house in Storm Lake. Scott Huntley and Jared Okander with you.
Beavers early on already with three three-point buckets.
Oh, and Nick Denlinger gets a second block of the game and comes up with the boards. So Upper Iowa having a couple opportunities to score inside from point-blank range, and they can't get it done.
Well, there you saw what
Denlinger from way downtown. That's might be a little bit out of even his range, but he'll still take those shots without any hesitation. I don't know if that's what Coach Van Haften looked for. There's Bloom, and he was on the line that time. They're going to get Denlinger for going over the back.
Well, I guess if Nick makes that shot, it's probably one of the best shots in the world, but if you miss it, as a coach, you got to say, hey, be patient and wait for a better shot to come along and wait for our rebounders to get into better position. Luckily, it was a long rebound. Frelick was there and picked up the rebound.
It was a Chris Kingsbury-like shot for Denlinger, but he'll put those up. It's his mentality. Number 4. Smith gets the ball to Seahas. Seahas, nice shot from 10 feet.
Yeah, and look Smith to come in and provide a lot of spark, as well as Seahas. Both of those two averaging over 13, close to 14 points a game.
Freilic's open on the far baseline, but they can't get it to him. And there's a nice inside move by Matt Jansen. Jansen playing tough in the early goings.
Nice job of posting up there by Matt Jansen. He only stands at 6'3", but because he plays so physically, he's able to counteract his, the differential of height that he gives up to a lot of people.
That's right. I think you said it well. Matt Jansen plays a lot bigger than his size.
There you see him double team in the post once again.
Oh, passed up on the 3 by Russ. Sherrill with a nice turnaround baseline shot. It's a 10-point game.
And that's one of the things that the Peacocks can do to counteract it, is for their low postmen to get the shot off before the double team arrives. And that's what Sherrill was able to do on that one.
Matt Jansen kicks it to Freilich. Bloom fakes a 3-point shot and he pulls up. No good. And on the boards is Kevin Clipperton. Get the ball inside to Seahas. Seahas has got that nice turnaround shot. Even with the hand in his face, he's able to make it.
Well, there he had a little bit of a mismatch. The 6'8" Seahas was matched up against Aaron Bloom, who was only 6'2". So a nice job of by the Peacocks of reading that mismatch.
Matt Jansen from 12 feet. Drains it, so Jansen with 5 points here in the first 9 minutes of this ball game, really sparking the Beavers off the bench. A reminder, we will be giving away the off-the-bench player award at the end of this game, as well as the player of the game. There's the Peacocks again missing from point-blank range. Another block by Dentlinger. That's 3 in the game for him. And there's Clipperton faking the 3 and driving in. He can make the shot. So the Peacocks get 3 and 4 opportunities at it, but they're not able to score. Matt Jansen fakes. Freilich will take the 3. No good. He's 1 for 2 from downtown.
Looked like he just rushed that shot a little bit. He was a little anxious to shoot it and put the Beavers up by 13. And in doing so, he shot it just a little bit flat. Great denial defense there by Aaron Bloom.
And 3 new Beavers are going to check into the game. We'll see the first action from Brad Douglas and Jeff Wilson, and Jamie Wilson checks in as well.
And there you saw Aaron Bloom use his left hand, which was his, not really his, it was kind of the opposite hand, but that's what they teach you to do, is tip the ball away and then you go get it down the floor. And he did that, however, it just went out of bounds. He was unable to get to it before it did go out of play.
Peacocks with 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Get it to Seahas. Seahas has hit 3 in a row, those baseline jump shots. He's got 6 points here in the early going.
And it doesn't really matter if they're double teaming Seahas, because all he has to do is shoot over the 6'2" Bloom. Once he gets his arms extended up above his head, it's an easy 5-foot bucket for Seahas.
So both inside players off the bench helping both teams. For BV, Matt Jansen, and for Upper Iowa, Matt Seahas. And there's a scramble for the ball. BV turns it over. Here comes Kevin Clipperton. And he locates Russ for 3. No good. Good rebound by Jeff Wilson.
That's great defensive positioning. Nice job of coming in off the bench and getting the job done.
8-point lead for the Beavers. There's Bloom for long, and he misses. Board control by Sherrill.
At one point, the Beavers were 3 for 4 from 3-point range. They're now 3 for 7. Peacocks have yet to hit a 3-point bucket.
Clipperton loses the ball. Here's Douglas ahead to Bloom. And Bloom gets the lay-in. And that's transition basketball at its best. And it's caused by the turnover from the Peacocks.
Nice concentration by Bloom. He was being chased down by the 6'8" Seahas, who was looking for a big block. Seahas was just a split second too late. It's an easy 2 points. Nice job by Douglas in providing a defensive spark.
One blade shot, no good. Here's Douglas again. And he doesn't really have
three.
Numbers.
Have you ever had to share?
Wilson's going to set things back up again. And Bloomer inside for two.
Nice look by Douglas. Good communication there by Bloom and Douglas. Douglas is such an unselfish player, willing to make the extra pass to help out his teammates.
And the shot again. That is Tony Seahas.
8 points now for Seahas. Starting to light it up. That one was from about 18. Wouldn't expect the big man to be shooting from out there.
He's got some range. So it's a 10-point ball game.
Beavers are going to set up a play, it looks like.
Douglas gets it inside to Bloom, and Bloom, looking for Bjorken, throws it away.
Looked like he slipped on the floor, actually, and then once he did that, he tried to regain balance and was trying to get the ball out to the perimeter to one of the guards, and was unable to do so.
Ball goes back outside to Russ, inside to number 32. Or that's 42 Windblade. Score is 24-16. 7:15 to go, first half. And the Beavers have been ahead by 8 to 10 points throughout much of this first half.
Look for the back pick.
Okay, and there you see Bjorken cutting across. Brad Douglas for three, and he hits it. That's the fourth three of the game for the Beavers. And the crowd loves it.
And there the Beavers showed nice patience. They didn't rush their offense. They set some real nice, solid picks for each other. And Douglas was wide open. There's the denial defense forcing a turnover.
Okay, right now we're going to go downstairs, and Stacy Miraz has got the co-captain of the women's softball team down there. And reminder, at the halftime of the men's game, of this game, there will be the ring ceremony presented to Coach Wilson and her squad. So, Stacy. Okay, we'll go to Stacy. As soon as there's a break in the action, Denlinger gets blocked, and the Beavers get two opportunities at it, can't convert.
Nice hustle by Detlinger keeping the ball alive. Even though he didn't end up getting the rebound, he was able to keep it alive and at least have a chance to get the ball.
Number 22, Kelsey Bullock, into the game for the Peacocks. There he is with the ball right there.
Now you see Detlinger on Seahas for three.
And that time Seahas finally misses, maybe his first miss of the game. Schmalbeck ahead to Detlinger, and Nick trying to get under control. Is a little bit out of control there, but able to draw the foul on Kelsey Bullock, the freshman from Chicago, Illinois. 27-16 is your score, 6 minutes to go first half.
And too bad he couldn't quite get that bucket down. Nice, really nice defense there by Kelsey Bullock. And he did commit the foul, but at least it's not a three-point bucket, and he does make him earn it from the stripe. So far on the year, Detlinger shooting 63% from the line.
Well, the next telecast by IB Sports will be on Friday, January 31st, when the Beavers play the Simpson Storm in another conference doubleheader. The women start things off at 6, and the men tip off at 8 o'clock. Live coverage from Stevens Fieldhouse starts with the pregame show at 5:52. Stay tuned to Innovation Video all year long for live coverage of Buena Vista sporting events.
There you saw BV come out of the made free throw with a 1-2-1-1 full court press. That's what they used effectively last night against Dubuque. They got a couple cheap turnovers, and
you see the three-point shot. That's number 21 for the Peacocks, Lewis Bohm, who's checked into the game. He's another freshman, so right now Bullock and Bohm into the game in the backcourt for the Peacocks, both freshmen.
Really the first time the Beavers have played pretty poor defense. You know, they didn't have a hand in his face. He was standing out there wide open, had plenty of time. And anytime you give a good player that kind of time, he's going to knock down the three.
Okay. And right now, Peacocks working on the ball, down by 10. We're going to go down to Stacy Miraz, who has a member of the softball team with her. Stacy.
All right, right, I'm here with Andy Royster, captain of this year's softball team. Andy, you guys have a very special ceremony coming up right into halftime. Can you tell us what that is?
Well, we're getting our rings, conference rings from last year tonight, which is pretty cool, and we're getting some academic All-American coaches certificates tonight. And
Andy herself had a lot of awards. She was named first team All-Conference, second team All-Region, and she's also going to receive an All-Academic reward tonight. Thanks a lot for coming over, Andy.
no problem.
Back to you guys.
Okay, thanks a lot, Stacy. And still a 10-point lead for the Beavers. 4:34 to go first half. Jansen and Freilich, both sophomores, checking in for the Beavers. It's been about 8 to 10 point leads throughout the entire first half, Jared.
Detlinger and Bloom both lead the Beavers with 7 points apiece.
There's Freilich for a second three, but it won't fall. Beavers connecting on 4-3 so far in the first half. Smith cross-court pass to Bohm. And Peacock's thrown away. That's Lewis on the turnover. Denlinger from way downtown. This one's short again. That one was from about 25 feet. That's 2 shots we've seen Denlinger throw up from around 25 feet tonight. Both of them short. There's a foul on Brad Douglas. It's going to be the team's 4th foul.
Douglas's first foul, first personal, but really nothing wrong with that foul. He's going for the loose ball. He thought he had the steal, unable to quite grab it, and picks up the cheap foul, kind of.
Brow's got a full shot clock on now, 35 seconds to work with. Clipperton trying to get something going underneath. Finds Smith. Smith baseline shot, no look good.
Went off the hands of Sherrill there, unable to quite grab it. He even had defensive position on Douglas. And the Beavers still good with the team rebound. Beavers so far tonight, 4 for 10 from 3-point range, while the Peacocks are 1 of 4.
There's Smith with a nice steal, and this, look out, this could be, could have jammed it, but instead he goes for the easy 2, so it's 2 points nonetheless.
The entire packed house, though, was looking for the big dunk, and I think that Smith just lost the handle on it, otherwise he probably would have thrown it down.
Freilich trying to get something underneath. Draws a foul, and he can't quite get it to fall.
On the floor.
That's right.
It would have been a made bucket anyway. No continuation, not the NBA. It's going to be called on Sherrill. Nice job by OJ of getting Sherrill up into the air, and once he did that, there wasn't a whole lot else Sherrill could do.
That's right, 3 new Beavers check into the game, so we'll set the lineups for you. For BB, it's Jamie Wilson, Nate Bjorken, Aaron Bloom, Matt Jansen, and OJ Freilich. Peacocks. Are they in a man? They're kind of in a man-to-man or matchup zone, but there's Freilich driving baseline, and that's not a real good pass to Jamie Wilson, who gets it out of the corner and is forced to throw it away. So give credit to the Peacock defense right there, doing a pretty decent job. Reminder at halftime, stay tuned for the drill team. Also, the softball team will be presented with their ring ceremony from last season. There's Clipperton for 3, no good. And there's a rebound by Bohm. So second chance opportunities are paying off for the Peacocks as they pull within 6. It's the closest this game's been in a long time.
Beavers have got to control the boards a lot better. Can't allow a team to get second and third opportunities.
Jamie Wilson, no good baseline shot, so there's a chance for the Peacocks to cut it to within possibly 3.
Lewis Boehm already with a huge game. He only averages 1 point a game. As you're going to see a foul called away from the ball. It's going to be called on Brian Smith. He tried to fight for position and kept shoving into Matt Jansen. Referees finally called the foul. But Lewis Boehm already with 5 points this evening, averages only 1.
So again, we're seeing both teams having good contributions from off the bench. And there's one of the Beavers from off the bench right now who's got 9 points already in this game. That's Matt Jansen.
1 for 2 from the line tonight. Make that 2 for 3.
1:44 to go, first half. Jansen trying to extend to an 8-point lead for the Beavers. No good, and Russ with the rebound. Peacock's trying to look inside, but good job defensively by Jansen. There they get it inside to Smith. Nice kiss off the glass for Smith.
There you saw a really pretty good defense played by Jansen. He knew that he was going to turn to his right and shoot the bank shot. He was just unable to stop it. He was there in defensive position. Nice defense, just tough break. This crowd really not too much of a factor so far, Scott. Under a minute to play, first half.
You're right, but they are in numbers here. And Freilich gets the basket. That's one thing O.J. Freilich is able to do. He's able to shoot the three-pointer, but also he's able to break you down off the dribble, and you saw an example of it right there. We're under a minute to go, and BB's up by 7. There's Smith, and double pump fake. He tried to draw the foul, but no dice there. Good job by the BB defense, Ned.
Shot clock off. Look for the Beavers to wait for the final shot here.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. Bjorken sets up the play. Who do you think they're going to go to here, Jared?
They're going to let Freilich drive, and then if anybody sags to help, he'll dish it off.
There it is. Freilich breaks him down off the dribble, but loses the handle on it. It was knocked off by Upper Iowa players, so BV will get it back with 3.6 seconds to go.
Look for the post to
Bloom's wide open in the corner. There you see Freilich gets it back for 3. Oh, no good.
Nice looking play though there by the Beavers.
Yeah, just about got the 3-point shot at the end, but anyhow, it's a 7-point lead as we head into the locker room at halftime of the men's game. BB leads at 32-25. And stay tuned in a moment. There you see the drill team. They'll be performing for the second time this evening.
And really a pretty well played ball game that we had by both teams actually. Not quite as sloppy as the game we had yesterday. And so the first half kind of flew right by us. Right now it's upon us 32-25. Not a whole lot of turnovers by either team.
Not a whole lot of the fouls didn't really mount up either.
Absolutely. So therefore the clock didn't stop a whole lot. And the clock kept moving, and that's why halftime is upon us so quickly. I think first they're going to present the rings.
That's right, we're going to present the rings for the women's softball squad, of course, winning the conference championship last year. But stay tuned for that. Right now, we're going to go to a short message. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Innovation Video Sports.
One of the reasons lions roar is to warn threatening bachelor males from other prides to stay away from their young. Here, a lion cub gets a lesson in proper roaring from its father. Teaching this behavior is not just crucial to the pride, but also to the survival of the species. Just a reminder how important it is for fathers to spend time with their children.
In America, you are not required to offer food to the hungry or shelter to the homeless. There is no ordinance forcing you to visit the lonely. In fact, nowhere in the Constitution does it say you have to provide anything for anybody. Thank you for all you've given. Imagine what more could do.
Welcome back to Stevens Fieldhouse. Right now we're watching the softball presentation, the three-peat for the women's softball team. Coach Wilson's squad winning the Iowa Conference last year. So we'll give it away to the PA address system.
First baseman from Duncombe, Andy Oyster. All-American Scholar Athlete. First and third baseman from the Pirates, Steph Brown. Is also named the NSCA All-American Scholar Athlete. A catcher from Atlantic, Jody Reeder. And outfielder from Mobile, Holly Lewis. A shortstop from Kingsley, Keely Bowman. An outfielder from the Pines, Jen Masterson. An outfielder from Sioux Center, James Goldstauber. James is also named the NSCA All-American Scholar Athlete. Third baseman from Newton, Kristen Sullivan. First baseman from Carlisle, Michelle Petzoff. And first team all-conference and second team West Region. Ms. Shabor was a student trainer. The following players are not present for tonight: Lisa Peterson of Omaha, Nebraska, Christy Slocum from Stratton, Katie Shelley from Norwalk, Lisa Schuler from Storm Lake, Connor Lutnick from Centerville, Thea Bacco, manager. Assistant coaches: Rusty Moeller, Susan Mingus, and head coach Ron Brooks, 1986 National Division III Coach of the Year. The following named players were named: Jamie Goldstauber, Steph Brown, Connor Lutnick, Shane Manning, Andy Royster, Lisa Schuler, Katie Shelley, and Christy Slocum. The Buena softball team is being awarded the 1996 Sears Roberts Champion Trophy tonight from President Fred Moore. Head coach Mark Wilson will receive the trophy.
I have her down here.
The Buena softball team of the conference and two batting numbers with a batting number of 3.04, second ranked team pitching with an ERA of 1.12. Sears Roebuck and Company partners of the National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics to annually award more than 1,800 conference champion trophies each year. The Sears Conference Champion Trophy is part of the comprehensive Sears Collegiate Champions Program. Now in its fourth year, the trophy and academic scholarship programs on women's and men's sports equally at all NCAA Division I, II, III, and NAIA four-year institutions. Last year, more than 700 schools earned Sears Conference Champion trophies in G1. Giving hand to the 1996 Vista softball team.
Squads, and in a moment the drill team will be performing. We'll also have an interview with Coach Janet Berry on her 8-point win tonight against the Peacocks. A win I'm sure she thought would be maybe a little bit easier than what it was, but give credit to the Peacocks in that women's game. They did an excellent job, came out very aggressive.
And there you see the assistant coach, Rusty, opening must have been a gift for his hard work. He works mostly with the pitchers a great deal and spends a lot of time real dedicated to the BV softball program.
Okay, you see the drill team getting ready to warm up. Right now we're going to send it downstairs. Stacey Mraz has got Janet Berry with her. Let's see what the coach has to say.
Halftime entertainment, the Buena Vista drill team.
I'm here with Coach Janet Berry, and she's going to give us a little cap of the game tonight against Upper Iowa. Coach Berry, what were some of the keys to success that your team was able to achieve?
Well, at halftime we had to make some adjustments. We felt, again, just like a lot of teams, Upper Iowa was trying to control the tempo and we needed to speed things up. And I was really pleased that our kids came out in the second half and just really went out and took it at them and went hard to the boards. And we got a lead right away, and then they came back, and then we'd get a lead. We got a 13-point lead, and all of a sudden they cut it again. And we made our free throws. That's the bottom line. We won it tonight at the free throw line. We shot 78% from the line, going 50% in the first half. And I really challenged us at halftime and said, we got to make our free throws. And we went out and we did that. And this was a nice win for us because we struggled a lot. We struggled tonight. Upper Iowa was a good team. And to win this game and to go on 4-0 in the conference, we feel good about that.
You had a couple of players in foul trouble. Did that scare you at all?
Well, you know, Teresa Breifogel picked up her second foul right away and started walking to the bench. And I said, no, you're going to stay out there and you got to play through that. And yeah, Michelle Brosda fouled out. Now, obviously, that was a concern, but you know, it never really hurt us. They had 3 people foul out, another one with 4, so they were in more foul trouble than we were. But our kids, you know, we made the adjustments when we had to and got the job done.
Overall, were you pleased with your team's success?
Well, anytime you win, you got to be happy. Obviously, there's things we got to do better at. We are a marked team right now. Defensively, you know, Upper Iowa made some wild shots. They really did, and you got to give them credit for getting those in. But when we needed a bucket, you know, they closed within 4 late in the game, and we needed a bucket, and we were able to do that. So that was a good win for us.
What are a couple of things that other teams look for you guys? You guys said you guys were a marked team. What are they looking to shut down on you?
Well, we're leading the nation in scoring right now, not only Division III, but also Division I and II, and so they know they're trying to take the air out of the ball. That's what people are trying to do. They're really trying to slow it down and, you know, use the 30-second clock and take us out of our rhythm. And that's where I thought the first half we never got in the rhythm. We only scored 34 points in the first half, and luckily we scored 52 in the second half and got kind of back in track where we need, the way we like to play. And you know, teams are just going to do whatever they can to disrupt our flow, and Upper Iowa, give them credit, they did a good job of that in the first half.
All right, well, good luck in the rest of the season, and congratulations on tonight's win. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Okay, thanks, Coach Berry, and congratulations on the 8-point win tonight and on the sweep for the weekend over Dubuque. Again, it was a 48-point win over Dubuque. A little bit tougher tonight, only an 8-point win, but a W nonetheless.
And you've really got to hand it to Coach Berry. She's, you know, built an incredible program for the Lady Beavers. That her 60th win, I believe, here at BV in her. I think that's correct. But you know, they're working for their 3rd consecutive conference title, which is almost unheard of, especially in the Iowa Conference.
All right, we're going to go to a short message. We'll be back, and we'll be back with the first half highlights of the men's game. Right now the score is 32-25, and you're watching Innovation Video Sports.
We'll be ready to get them. They just shoot. They don't care who gets in the way. I want to be respected. This gets me respect, know what I'm saying? I'm afraid to walk to school, okay? Yeah, I might die. Everybody dies.
Kids shooting, kids getting shot. They're all victims of gun violence. The killing won't stop unless you help stop it. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT for free information. Not one more lost life. Not one more grieving family. Not one more.
I don't want to die.
Math, a 4-letter word, right? Hey, you don't need that. Why design the world's newest chips? When you could be flipping the world's oldest burgers. Hey, wait a minute. This is math. Geometry, algebra. No pocket protectors here. But you're cruising without math. Yeah, right. Take a good look. That's math staring back at you. It's not a problem, man. It's an answer. Call NACME. We'll tell you what you need to do.
Here's my nephew Scruff, about to run into trouble again.
Hey, Bobo, where's your video game? In here. Well, look at this. Uh-oh. It's my dad's. You want to hold it? What'll I do?
You'll see, but that's not the only problem he has.
Hey, here's a shortcut. Not down there, Square. I don't think it's safe. Come on, the coast is clear. I'm not taking a chance, Lance. Oh, no. Well, hello, Dogface. Come to give us your sneakers.
Uh-oh, trouble again, Scruff. What are you gonna do now?
I don't know.
If you get my new comic activity book, More Adventures with Scruff, you'll find out what you can do about bullies, drugs, and guns.
Am I the hero again?
You'll see. And you'll see lots of games.
Cool.
For your free copy of my new comic activity book, write Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. And you'll be helping take a bite out of crime.
I want it.
Okay, welcome back to Stevens Fieldhouse. As you see, our head football coach, Joe Hadachek. And let's check out some of the highlights of the first half. And the Beavers held an 8 to 10 point lead throughout much of the first half, as we'll see here in just a moment. And Matt Jansen sparked the Beavers off the bench, but here you see Brian Schmalbach, and I believe that was maybe the first point of 2 points of the game.
Indeed.
There's Nick Dentlinger, who was his one three-pointer that went. He was 1 for 3. The other 2 shots were from 25-plus feet. There's OJ for 3. We had 4 threes in the first half altogether. And there's Nick inside, draws a foul, but
we see him slashing through the bucket.
There's Matt Jansen with 2 of his points in the first half. And there's another one of his points, so I believe Matt was in double figures.
Ended up with 6 points in the half.
Okay, that's OJ Freilich again. Time no good on the shot. This time Aaron Bloom got ahead of the pack and was able to put it in.
Nice steal by Douglas there.
Another shot by Bloom inside. This time you're going to see good ball movement as I believe that was Odie Douglas for 3. And that time there's OJ with a nice dish outside and finds the open person. And that's the first half highlights. We're back to live action at Stevens Fieldhouse. Let's take a look at the halftime stats. As you can see, the battle of the boards being won by Upper Iowa.
And you know, BV's really got to do a better job of boxing out, especially on their defensive side, because the Peacocks are getting way too many second and third chances at the offensive end.
And turnovers, you can see even. Free throws, Upper Iowa not getting to the line, and everything else pretty much even on there. I guess we can take a look at the field goals.
Leading scorers for both teams, Nick Detlinger and Aaron Bloom, both with 7 to lead the Beavers in a real balanced scoring attack. And Tony Seahas comes off the bench to lead the Peacocks with 8 points.
That's right, so Seahas off the bench for the Peacocks with 8 points. Jansen off the bench for the Beavers, 6 points. A lot of good contributions off the bench, which is good to see. We'll be giving off the bench award winner at the end of the game. So the Beavers come out in the second half with the same starting 5. I think it's the same starting 5 for the Peacocks as well.
Job of playing pressure defense by Aaron Bloom.
Lewis loses a hand.
Indirectly caused the turnover.
Aaron Bloom on far baseline. Freilich trying to break him down off the dribble again. He's successful with that in the first half. There's Dentlinger for 3. It's another long shot by Nick. He's 1 for 4 now from downtown. He's starting to go cold now from...
There you see what the Peacocks have been able to do all game. They box out inside, and they control the defensive rebound, limiting the Beavers to 1 offensive shot.
But they're just not able to convert on this end with the field goal percentage a little bit lower than I'm sure Coach Engen would like. And they turn it over. Here's Schmalley ahead to Bloom. Nice job by Aaron Bloom. It's a good job of getting the ball under control, setting the shot, not rushing it. And that's a veteran play right there by the junior from Albert City.
Bloom now with 9.
Aaron Bloom, of course, leading scorer so far this season with the Beavers averaging about 15 points a game. As you see the score 34-25 BV. Just underway here, second half.
He missed a travel. Clipperton shuffled his feet.
There's Sherrill. It's no good on the 15-footer.
Beavers have to continue to get the rebounds on that side of the ball. Nice job there by Bloom of boxing out.
And there's Fairlick. O.J. Fairlick connects for his second three of the game. And Upper Iowa, I think, called timeout.
We're going to have a 20-second timeout. Nice job there by Brian Schmalbach. He did a super job of recognizing the open man. Fairlick was standing there screaming for the ball, and finally Schmalbach able to get it in his hands. You know, the easy three-point bucket. And like you said last night, the first 5 minutes of the second half often sets the tempo for the remainder of the game. And if that's the case, the Beavers looking to come away with a W.
That's right. Again, this is all the makings of a big game atmosphere. The stands are packed, and both these teams know that they are going up against the possible main contender. Upper Iowa 2-1 in the conference, BV 3-0. And BV wants to protect their home court. They don't really want to lose on the home floor. They play Luther on the 24th here, and then they go on the road for a couple games. And it's never easy in the Iowa Conference.
Yeah, in order to win the conference title, what you've got to do is you've got to win at home. And then you've got to beat a few teams, especially the doormats of the conference, on the road.
Smith with the ball, kicks it back out. It's number 42, and that's Windblade out there. And we have a foul on the floor. It's going to be against...
No, it's just going to be out of bounds. It's just going to be out of bounds. Jamie Wilson, nice hustle. Went for the loose ball, unable to bring it in.
So Upper Iowa inbounds from underneath their own basket. And Detlinger comes up with a steal. We got 2-1 break. And here's Nick going to take it all by himself for the layup. Good job by Detlinger with those quick hands, able to anticipate the pass.
Nice job of running the floor by Detlinger.
There you see BB packing him in down low, making it difficult for Upper Iowa to get the ball inside to Smith. There Smith gets it, but he's double teamed, nowhere to go, so he kicks it back out. Smith able to draw the foul on Detlinger.
Nice pass there. By number 22, Kelsey Bullock, the freshman. He was in midair, and he couldn't really get a shot off. And then he found the big man, Brian Smith, posting up underneath. And Smith able to draw the foul. Detlinger's second personal foul, team first of the half.
Smith no good on the free throw. Smith scored 4 points in that first half. Smith 0 for 2 from the line, and that hurts. The Peacocks are 0 for 2 from the free throw line in the first half, and they continue their drought here in the second half. Schmalbach fakes a three, just out to Bloom for 3, and Aaron Bloom doesn't miss that shot too often. Good pass by Brian Schmalbach, and the recognition that Bloom was all alone on the far baseline.
Super job of being unselfish. Schmalbach could have hit the 18-footer. Might have been a little tougher shot, but he makes the extra pass, and Bloom knocks down the open three-point bucket.
And BV extends to a 17-point lead here early in the second half. And that's not really what we expected coming into this game.
Detlinger quickly picks up his third personal foul. Let's see if Coach Van Haften is going to go to the bench to try to prevent Detlinger from getting his fourth.
Well, Matt Jansen's on that bench, and he did a good job of spelling Detlinger in the first half. There's Smith. He was just 0 for 2 on the previous trip to the line, but he makes that one.
Aaron Bloom now officially with 14 points on the game, 2 3-point buckets.
Okay, so he's almost got his average already, and we're still at 16 minutes to go here in regulation. And Matt Jansen is at the scores table, Jared. Probably going to check in for Nick Detlinger. Nick gets it down low. Nice reverse lay-in.
Really pretty good interior defense there by the Peacocks. I thought they had him sealed off.
There's Seahas, who just checked into the game, and he picks up right where he left off in the first half. He's into double figures now with 10.
he's got a smooth jumper, and he's so much taller than everybody else that once he gets up in the air, nobody's going to block his shot, certainly. So it's just a matter of whether he's going to knock it down or not.
As you see, Matt Jansen checks in for Dentlinger. 22 seconds on the shot clock.
Beavers have to continue to be patient with the ball. They work for a good shot. They've done a super job of that so far.
Jansen driving left and the dish to Bloom. Bloom can't make it. And there's Seahouse with the rebound. Here come the Peacocks. Smith loses it out of bounds. Turnover to BV.
Upper Iowa unable to score a bucket there in the first 4 minutes of the first half. Super job of playing defense. Coming out ready to play in the second half by the Beavers.
Upper Iowa with a tough man-to-man right now. And Freilich trying to break something down off the dribble, but he picks up the ball. Aaron Bloom pulls up from 15. Aaron Bloom no good. He's gone cold here as of late. Nice save there by Jamie Wilson. Back out to Freilich. I think that's
third three-pointer.
Yep, you called it.
But it all goes back to Jamie Wilson working hard underneath to get the rebound. And once he finally got the rebound, got out to Schmalbach. Schmalbach able to find Freilich open on the left wing.
And watch the Beavers pick up the defensive intensity on this side. 15 on the shot clock, and the answer, you bet, Rob Russ says, I can do that too, OJ.
That's his first bucket of the night. He's 1 for 9 from the field.
It's a bad pass by Jamie Wilson, and we're going to tie it up. The possession arrow pointing towards BV.
Well, Jansen had his man sealed, and a good job by Wilson of throwing the bounce pass to him. It just bounced a little low to try to get it so that it bounces up to the man's chest. And there it just went right between his legs, unable to get a handle on it was Jansen.
Schmalbach driving inside. He had a good shot at it, but not able to get it down. The boards
he did have Douglas on the right block if he could have seen him. Douglas was wide open. Nice little touch pass. Could have gotten the easy bucket for the Beavers.
There's Smith for 3, and Jansen had a hand right in his face.
Good job of being physical underneath by Schmalbach and Jamie Wilson. He boxed out and got the rebound.
Okay, right now we're going to go down on the floor, and Stacy has talking to Roger Eglund, our athletic director.
All right, I'm here with Doc Eglund, and I learned today that Doc is going to have to take a leave of absence. Now, I've been told your job has been divided up. Can you tell us a little about that?
Well, sure I can. When I started my doctorate in summer of '90, and my time is running out, so we've divided the job amongst 5 people here at the school, and trying to add that to the things they're presently doing so that they aren't quite as busy. Marge Willitson is going to be doing compliance. She has a busy schedule in the spring, so she's involved with that portion of it. Keith Schmidt also has a busy schedule in the spring with track, and he's going to be taking care of facilities. Susan Hessler is going to help out with the academic portion of the department. Al Baxter is going to take care of things that he does normally with development, that is promotion and marketing. And of course, being acting athletic director will be Janet Allgood. She'll be finishing her basketball season, so that'll be the end of that.
All right, well, you will be missed a lot, Doc. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
And while you were away, the action got heated up. And first of all, Brian Smith brought down the house with a thunderous 2-hand dunk. And then the tensions got a little heated up as Jeff Wilson checked into the game. And
Michael Windblade and Jeff Wilson going at it. And both of those two players now out, Windblade now out of the game to try to settle him down. It's getting a little bit out of control, but wow, it certainly did heat up.
There's Wilson with the ball, pump fakes, and I think Smith got a hand on that one. So here comes the Peacocks in transition. Smith with the ball, who just brought down the house with a thunderous 2-hand dunk.
ball will stay with Upper Iowa. As you mentioned, good job by Coach Engen to get that player out of the game so the tensions didn't increase to something more serious.
And before the game, I heard some people talking, and they asked, where does Upper Iowa get these players from? They have players from California, Illinois, Washington, D.C., Texas, from around the nation.
That's right. As you look down their lineup, they only have maybe a half dozen players from Iowa. And as you look down the BV lineup, every player except for one is from Iowa. So
the way in that they recruit all those players is they have a tendency to take some players who maybe might have some risks associated with them, and Coach Stu Engen, what he hopes is that when they come to Upper Iowa, perhaps he can straighten their lives out and get them to play basketball like they're capable of playing.
Exactly, and that's how they're able to get those players, starters, people from Washington, D.C., California, Texas, Illinois, all over the countryside, all over the nation coming to Upper Iowa. Of course, Upper Iowa is a state school too, as well, Ned, and that contributes to it to the low cost as well. So
all the way from Fayette, Iowa,
in the middle of nowhere, and they're able to draw from all over the nation. But we have an 11-point lead for the Beavers, 12:32 to go in regulation.
Well, I think that's so that the players don't have distractions, both academically and athletically.
There's OJ for three. That's his fourth of the game. OJ Freilich,
14 points on the evening.
He's in the zone right now.
Above his season average of 10.
And right now, if I was the Beavers, I would get the ball to the hot hand Freilich. There you see a elbow. And I'm not sure who it's on. We'll get the call from the referees. It's going to be a push on number 42. That's his fourth foul.
Beavers already with 3 3-pointers here in the second half.
So it's now a 14-point lead. And ball almost stolen away. Here's Seahorse driving in, and Seahorse has got to be shooting about 90% in this ball game. How many points?
14 points for Seahorse on the evening.
Okay, so our leading scorers are Seahorse and Freilich at 14 apiece.
Bloom also has 14.
Matt Jansen driving in, and he gets hammered. Starting to get a little bit physical there underneath.
He's able to draw the fouls quite frequently. He's gone to the line more than any other Beaver this season. And he doesn't have any blood. The referee thought he might have some blood, had to look him over. Of course, the blood rule, if you do have blood, you have to leave the game or get it taken care of as quickly as possible. And if he had a bloody nose, that could have been kind of too bad. Somebody else probably would have had to shoot his free throw shots in order to get the bleeding of his nose stopped.
But Jansen connects on the first one.
3 of 5 from the line on the evening.
And for the year, Jansen is a 77% free throw shooter. So it makes both of them. He's got a 13-point lead, 14-point lead, 11:45 to go in the game. There's Smith, thought about the three. Now he takes it inside. He's trapped. There's a three-pointer by Russ. No good. Off the iron. Out of bounds to BV.
Russ not having a real super shooting night. 1 out of 10 from the field. From three-point range, he's 1 out of 4. And so that's not really what Coach Stu Engen wanted from Rob Russ, who averages 9 points a game for his Peacocks.
Jansen, nice look inside. Oh, give credit to Matt Jansen that time. He saw O.J. Freilich cutting inside of the basket, and O.J.'s able to put it in. He's got 16 on the night.
What great court awareness there by O.J. Freilich. He had the defensive pressure, and he felt it. Seahorse at the other end.
And he's everywhere. Seahorse is almost single-handedly keeping the Peacocks close in this one. Matt Jansen now is going to drive the pump fakes and puts up a shot. No good, but nice looking shot by Jansen. And so there's a couple of sophomores on the floor right now doing a pretty good job for the Beavers.
Almost drew the foul. He got a couple players in the air, unable to quite draw it.
Seahorse turnaround shot. This time he finally misses, so you can write home about that one. Oh, there's Freilich, couldn't control it. There he takes the three. Freilich this time misses. He was 3 out of 3 here in the second half for threes until he missed that last one, but BB gets a second opportunity.
The big difference is the rebounds that the Beavers have. It also helps when you hit a lot of three-pointers, but in order to hit all those three-pointers, the Beavers have had to keep the ball alive. Offensive rebounds.
Right now it's a two-man show. Matt Jansen to O.J. Freilich, and Jansen is able to hit the 15-foot shot.
Now in double digits with 10.
Gives the Beavers a 16-point lead. We're under 10 minutes to play. They're going to call a foul on the Peacocks away from the ball.
It's going to be called on number 33, Michael Harston. He was shoving O.J. Freilich around underneath, and the referee quick to put an end to that, especially with the near fight situation we had with Wilson and Windblade earlier this evening. Under 10 to play in this ball game.
That's right, and you get the feeling Upper Iowa has not really made a run at BV all night long. BV just continuing to slowly build on that lead. Oh, there's a nice cut by Dentlinger, and he's able to put it in for the layup. Right now, BV's playing really together as a team, Jared.
And you know, they're setting great picks for each other. They're making great cuts to the hoop, making great passes off of those cuts. You know, they really do look like they're running on full cylinders.
And it looks like, and it all begins with the fundamentally sound basketball as it is, cutting to the basket, setting those picks, and looking for the open man. It's unselfishness as well.
Exactly, and I think, you know, Beaver basketball this year is going to be exciting. Make sure you come on out and watch both the men and the women with successful seasons so far this season. They need your support to continue their winning ways.
Okay, so the Beavers trying to build on an 18-point lead. Trying to work on a little shot clock. Now shot clock's down to 10.
They're going to go to a 1-4 set. Freilich going to drive.
Here's Douglas with a long three-point shot. No good. And BB's going to get back.
Shot clock down to 2. It didn't hit the rim, and so the shot clock isn't reset.
That's right. So the bench is informing the players they have to get a shot off within 2 seconds.
BV has outscored Upper Iowa 26-15 here in the second half.
Freilich gets the ball to Dentlinger, who puts up the quick three. It doesn't hit iron, and the Peacocks will take over. That time was a tough shot for Nick. He just had to get it up and
fade away from the corner. Never an easy shot. If the Peacocks were smart, they'd just keep going to Seahorse until...
There's Clipperton underneath. He draws the foul and count the basket. The foul on Brad Odie Douglas.
Nice turnaround spin move there by Clipperton. He does average 13 points a game so far this evening. That's his first points.
And a nice round of applause from Matt Jansen and
Brad Douglas. Douglas with his second personal foul, team fourth. There's still not a lot of fouls here on either team.
Now you're seeing full court pressure by the Peacocks, and they foul Dentlinger.
Russ with his first personal foul.
Probably a good idea at this point for the Peacocks to have a full court press, trying to get back into this ball game whenever they make the basket.
They've got to do something to offset the offensive rhythm that the Beavers have got right now. You know, the Beavers seem to be working every single play that they have in their arsenal, going to every single weapon. There's Schmalbach for 3.
No good. Rebound by Sherrill. And there's probably not a real good foul by Bloom.
Yeah, a little bit of a touch foul. I don't think they've called that all game up until now. Unfortunate for Bloom, a foul nonetheless. It's going to be his first personal.
Sherrill with that rebound. That's the first time we've called his number in a long time. He has been quiet. He started out kind of hot in the first half. And credit the BB defense for shutting him down. This time there's a miss by Seahorse.
Nice defense there by Dentlinger, getting the hand in the face. Seahorse had to shoot the fadeaway.
Schmalbach almost traveled. O.J. for another three-point
shot. 5 3-pointers in the game for O.J. Freilich. Give him 17 points for the game, and he is feeling it.
Wow, super job.
And he might be heading toward a career high. I think he had 22 points on the road earlier this year, but that could certainly be in jeopardy here tonight.
Beavers 4 of 5, actually 4 of 6 shooting 3-pointers in the second half. Douglas and Detlinger both missed those 2 3-pointers, of course.
Here's Detlinger driving baseline. Thought he was fouled, but he gets his own rebound and puts it in. So good job to stay with the play for Detlinger.
15 points on the night for Detlinger. So the three-people combination of Detlinger, Freilich, and Bloom.
And that's a nice shot right there by Clipperton. That was a tough shot. He was turning and falling away and able to hit it with a hand in his face. So
he now has 5 all in the second half.
63 to 47 lead for the Beavers. 6:22 to go second half. Aaron Bloom misses. Matt Jansen getting ready to check in at the scorer's table. Clipperton no good at the 3. Sherrill at the rebound. Jamie Wilson comes up with a steal. Freilich controls it. And they're going to call a foul on Sherrill.
And, you know, the Upper Iowa Peacocks right now terribly frustrated by this pressure D applied by the Beavers. They don't seem to have really any offensive rhythm. They're shooting the ball, you know, after just a couple passes. Really not taking that many good shots. Really selfish basketball that we're seeing just because they're so frustrated that they're having so many turnovers and different things like that. Here you see in the right bottom corner of your screen some fans trying to start the Beaver train, and not too many fans getting into it.
It's good to see the fan support coming out. These Beavers this year, we have 2 winning squads this year, and it should be a fun month ahead of us once we get with a full student body back in the month of February. Quite a few doubleheaders and a chance for both teams possibly to make the tournament. But let's get back to the good 3-point shooting we're seeing, Jared, right now. And that's going to be the case all year long. We have a lot of good 3-point shooters, and it starts off with Freilich. Bloom can hit from downtown, and we see Nick Detlinger is not afraid to put it up either. So we really have a good shooting ball club when we make the unselfish pass.
Yeah, the Beavers average about 8 3-pointers a night, and tonight they have 9 with, you know, just under 6 minutes left to play. So hopefully maybe they can get a couple more and add to the 16-point lead that they've handed to the Peacocks thus far.
Jamie Wilson inbounds, and the Peacocks applying full court pressure. Schmalbeck gets it over before the 10-second count. Schmalbeck driving in, dishes off to Bloom. 15 on the shot clock. Jansen, and Jansen, I think he
looked like he got hacked.
No whistle, I guess. So they'll let him play here tonight. Jansen with the fake, and Freilich's wide open in the corner. O.J. Freilich from Woodhoustown.
6 3-pointers for Freilich, 22 on the night.
O.J. Freilich is really coming into his own tonight. The sophomore from Algona Garrigan.
Freilich only averages about 1.5 3-pointers a game. Comes out with a big 6 this evening, and there you see the Beavers controlling the boards.
And there's another miss by Rob Russ, who's now 1 of 11 so far, so he's a tough shooting night for Russ.
And it's got to be a frustrating weekend for Stu Engen. Coming into the weekend, they were tied with the Beavers for the conference lead at 2-0. A 24-point loss at Indianola against Simpson. And now what looks to be yet another big loss against the Beavers.
That's right. So Upper Iowa coming into this weekend maybe thought they would have the conference lead by Sunday morning, but right now it looks like they're going to be back to 500. So maybe Coach Engen's got a lot of soul searching to do for this Peacock team.
And Freilich leaves to a standing ovation from the crowd.
And with a 20-point lead, that might be it. That might be all for Freilich's night as he gets a well-deserved rest.
Jansen now with 12.
There's Clipperton working one-on-one. That's a nice fake move by Clipperton. He can break people down off the dribble.
Good job of penetrating there, and really not a whole lot of help defense since the Peacock offense is spread out so much.
Right now they call Bloom for
going to have an illegal screen called, which it really didn't look like it to me. You know, I guess we could only tell by a replay. He does have the angle on us though, Scott, and what he calls, I guess. Unfortunately for the Beavers. That's the second foul against Bloom.
We're at 4:26 to go in the game. The Beavers have this one apparently in hand. 19-point game right now. There's a nice dish inside to Sherrod. Oh, Jamie Wilson. And I thought he had all ball. I don't know about you, Jared, but if he didn't get all ball, he was extremely close. That was,
it looks like
a good block.
It looks like they're going to call it. He got him with the body, they said. He was straight up and did get the block, but apparently he got the body leaning into him. Unfortunately, other than that, it was a clean block, the referees thought. Not a very pretty looking free throw there by Sherrill. On the season, Sherrill from the line.
Jamie Wilson skies for the rebound.
Shooting 60% from the line. Unable to hit him there.
Beavers maybe trying to work a little bit of shot clock here, as the Upper Iowa's going to come out with some aggressive defense, trying to come up with some steals here so they can get back into this one.
A little bit of a stalling game here by the Beavers as the shot clock comes down to 10.
Small back in the corners, he's in trouble. Odie's driving against the hole. Oh, he almost came up with a great circus shot by Douglas.
Nice job by Douglas of recognizing that the shot clock is winding down. From downtown, in and out.
And Jamie Wilson will go to the free throw line. Both teams are in the bonus right now, so from here on out, at the 3:28 mark,
Rob Russ really having a frustrating night. There he picks up his second personal foul. But as we've mentioned, he's 1 of 11 from shooting, and he's used to making those shots. He averages 5 boards a game, 9 points for the Peacocks.
Yes, Rob.
Unable to do it tonight.
Sorry, Ned. Rob Russ, a senior, and I'm sure he's going to look back on his final trip to Siebens Fieldhouse with not very good memories. As Wilson makes the first free throw to put BV up by 20.
A 71% free throw shooter on the year.
Yes, we've been just to hand the stat sheet, Jared. In the second half, BB 6 of 8 shooting from three-point land. University of Upper Iowa only 1 of 5.
It's getting awful physical out there, Scott.
It is.
You know, I think the refs need to.
They need to call something. There's a lot of hand checking. It's getting out of control, and that's the refs.
There you saw another foul. At the other end, Smith was fouled as well. And
there they call a reach.
Just gotta wonder. NBA, that bucket would have counted.
Yeah.
Continuation, but not in Division III NCAA. That foul is going to be assessed to Schmalbeck.
And it'll put Kevin Clipperton on the line. Clipperton has had a decent second half, but probably one of the only Peacocks that you could say that for.
He really has stepped it up. He hits the first one here. He's 80% shooter from the line on the year.
As we have a timeout on the floor, BV up by 20, 2 minutes, 55 seconds to go in the game. And the bench gets a lot of high fives to the players out on the floor. And right now the difference between both clubs, BB's playing more as a team, and it looks like for the Peacocks, they're trying to do more of a one-on-one, break you off the dribble kind of game. And it's, as you can see the results, not what Coach Engen wants right now.
Well, and as you mentioned, a lot of it can be attributed just to the fundamentals, you know. The Beavers are coming to passes, they're making good, crisp passes, You know, they're running their offense, they're being patient, setting good picks for one another. And when you do that, you know, as we've seen in Hoosiers, you know, you're gonna win a lot of games, and you're gonna play a lot of exciting basketball. You know, the Peacocks just aren't getting it done from the shooting perspective, from passing perspective. You know, they're really not playing that super defense.
You bet. And I got a feeling that Coach Engen's going to go back to practice this week, and that's exactly what's going to work on. They're going to work on fundamentals. When you go, it's not hard to go 0-2 in the Iowa Conference, especially when you're on the road. But if Upper Iowa wants to get back into the upper half of the conference this year for a finish, they're going to have to work on those fundamentals.
Freilich has 17 points here in the second half.
The crowd really bothering Clipperton on the free throw, but Clipperton makes it anyway. Wilson inbounds it to Dellinger. Again, you're going to see a press from the rest of the game from here on out for the Peacocks, as Aaron Bloom will go to the line, shooting a 1-and-1.
Good job of being aware. What you're going to see here is once the Beavers get it across the timeline, they're going to try to eat some of that 35-second shot clock. And the Peacocks, on the other hand, are going to try to trap the Beavers out by the perimeter and hopefully force them into a turnover. And if they can't do that, they'll probably foul them and put them at the line to see if they can't support the other end.
There's a three-point shot by who else but Clipperton, the only man who's come out to play in the second half for Upper Iowa.
12 points here in the second half for Clipperton.
And
BV lead trimmed down to 16.
I believe that time Schmalbach called a 20-second timeout just so he could get it out of that tight press he was trapped in. It's a 16-point game. And
to put things in perspective here, the second half, Upper Iowa as a team has 29 points here in the second half. O.J. Freilich has 17 himself, so he'd be keeping it close if he was playing the entire Peacock team here in the second half.
That's right, O.J. Freilich, who's now checked back into the game, possibly going for a career high. And the next foul by the Peacocks will put the Beavers in the double bonus. So from here on out, if there's a foul, the BV will be shooting 2 free throws. The ball almost picked off.
Almost a lazy pass there by Bloom.
That's right. That's important to note. Even though you go into the stall game, as you see a turnover, you got to stay mentally into the ball game, even though you slow it down. A lot of times that's the case with many clubs. Once they go into that four-corner offense and try to take time off the clock, they lose it mentally, and thus the turnovers.
Nice look there by Clipperton.
1:58 to go in the game. BV up by 14.
Right now, Upper Iowa wants to force BV to make those long passes like they've been making right there. As you see, 2 straight turnovers.
That's right, Coach.
Before that, the Beavers had only 3 in the second half.
Clipperton to Smith for 3. And that would have been a big shot for Smith, but he couldn't get it to fall.
Minute and a half left to play, and this one's all but in the books, I think.
That's right. I think the Upper Iowa bus driver can go warm up the bus because it's going to be about 2.5-hour ride back to Fayette tonight.
And a long one at that.
They'll have plenty of time to think about what went wrong here tonight. But you can get out the brooms if you're at home or if you're in the field house if you got any, because it's a 4-game sweep for both the men and the women this weekend.
The officials timeout here. Brent Sherrill has some blood on his hand. They're going to get him cleaned up as Tony Seahas is going to come back in. This is the first free throw Schmalbach shot on the night. Only 2 points, but he's got a handful of assists. Knocks home the first one.
The next action for the Beavers will be January 24th against Luther. That game right here at Stevens Fieldhouse. So Beavers will have a few days to enjoy this victory and prepare for Luther, which always comes in with great teams, especially on the women's side of the ball. course, Luther last year was the team that knocked BV off out of the tournament, and that game was right here at Stevens Fieldhouse. And the women's team has not beaten Luther here in 2 years, so I'm sure Coach Berry's squad will be looking for some redemption there.
Nice decision by Schmalbeck of pulling it out, eating some more clock. Just keep the clock moving right now.
Don't make any stupid passes or turnovers. As you see the foul, and that'll take Aaron Bloom to the line for 2.
Harston called on the foul, his second personal. Bloom will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Today's broadcast is copyrighted by Innovation Video and Buena Vista University. Any rebroadcast of this telecast without the expressed written consent of BVU and Innovation Video is strictly prohibited.
Bloom now with 15 points on the night. And there you see Jamie Wilson continuing to hustle and battle under the board.
Oh, the steal by Schmalley. We got 2 on no break. Schmalley. Brian Schmalbeck tries the dunk. He's only a 6-foot guard, but I give him credit.
The crowd appreciates his effort. And he really wanted to leave his mark here this evening on both the Peacocks and this huge Stevens Fieldhouse crowd. Unable to quite get the job done, just lost the handle. You got to admire his courage, though, Scott.
That's right. He's only a 6-foot guard, but he does have a nice vertical. Just maybe another inch or 2 is all he needed on that one.
I was trying to get the reaction from Coach Van Haften, and really he was pretty straight-faced. Didn't have a whole lot good or bad to say about that play.
Well, I know what my old high school coach would have said. He would have said a dunk is only worth 2 points, so you might as well just go for the easy layup instead.
When you're up, when you do have the luxury of having a lead like the Beavers have right now, maybe the dunk would be a nice way to cap the game.
And to cap this weekend off, as it has been a successful weekend at that.
He kicked the ball. All right, we're going to have a delayed call here. And the shot clock's going to be turned off, and this one's pretty well over.
BV came out, Jared, from the get-go, and they were prepared. They were focused. They came out led by 8 or 10 points throughout the first half. They took a 10-point lead into the locker room, and they came out in the first 5 minutes of the second half, as we've said all along, which is a very pivotal part of the game, and led by O.J. Frelick's 3-point shooting that really propelled them to victory tonight. And that's going to be it as we get a standing ovation here at Stevens Fieldhouse for the Beavers squad. And that's the ball game, a 73-56 victory for the Beavers.
Who made that?
I didn't see that.
Did that count?
I don't think it counted.
No, didn't count. Didn't count.
As you see both teams exchanging handshakes. And stay tuned. We're going to have a post-game wrap-up. We'll try to get an interview with Coach Van Haften. Right now, we're going to go to a quick message. We'll be back. You're watching Innovation Video Sports.
My son Daku was riding a motorcycle when he was struck by a car. I had spoken to him previously about donating his organs, and it made it so much easier for me to make the decision. I knew that this is something that he wanted. I didn't have to feel guilty about making the decision, doing something that he may not have wanted. Every day I tell people, talk it over. You must let people know what you want.
We want to see our children succeed. But setting easy goals for our kids creates the toughest obstacle they'll ever face. Because succeeding in the real world isn't easy. Help the effort to raise standards in America's public schools. Call 1-800-96-PROMISE.
Welcome back to Siebens Fieldhouse, where the Beavers ended up with a 4-game sweep this weekend over Dubuque and Upper Iowa. The final score of the men's game was about a 20-point victory for the Beavers. And right now, I guess it's time for our off-the-bench award player and our MVP. First of all, for the MVP, and it is our Silkscreen Inc. Most Valuable Player of the Game. This one, Jared, no doubt about it, it's got to be
O.J.
the sophomore
Freilich
from Algona Garrigan, O.J. Freilich, who's 5 3-pointers in this ball game. 6 3-pointers in this ball game.
22 points on the evening. And in our Honeykiss Pizza off the bench award goes to Matt Jansen, who contributed with 12 big points. He was let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 for 8 from the line tonight, as he is the most frequently travels the line for the Beavers.
That's right, so 2 sophomores winning our awards tonight, so that bodes well for the future for Coach Van Haften, who has got to be extremely ecstatic in the locker room right now, and he will be joining us in a few minutes. We'll be doing that interview, so stick around. Right now, we're going to watch the highlights of the game, and Beavers came out really tough. As I mentioned, they had an 8-point game throughout and then just kind of kept building on the lead throughout. As you see, they were able to hit the outside shots tonight, and part of the reason why is they didn't really have a hand in their face a lot of times. And a lot of the 3-pointers by Freilich, he was wide open in the corners. You see right there. That was, I think, his first one of the night. There, see good ball movement. There's Freilich again from downtown.
One of his 6 3-pointers on the evening.
Freilich again.
It's easy to put him in the highlight reel this evening.
Oh, that was that pretty look by Matt Jansen to find Freilich underneath, and there's O.J. Freilich returning the favor to Matt Jansen. Here's Nick Denlinger with a nice lay-in, who also had 3 blocks this evening. He was a very dominant force in the first half with block shots.
Just an active player on both sides of the court.
Who else?
Freilich again. And there you see the Beavers as they celebrate their 2-game win, or their 2 wins this weekend.
And that puts them on top in sole possession of the conference lead at 4-0. And Coach Van Haften has got to be happy about that. Let's go down on the floor right now and see what Coach Van Haften has to say about tonight's game.
All right, I consider myself extremely lucky because every time I get an interview, Coach Brian Van Haften, he comes out victorious. It's luck. It's got to be me.
I hope it is you, and then we need to take you along with us every road trip we go on.
All right, now we were talking earlier, and you said it was hard to prepare for 2 teams. So can you tell me what it was like for you guys tonight?
I think this is one of those games where we just had to come out and just play the best we possibly could. Upper Iowa's one of the top couple teams in the league, and so we just needed to come out, make every shot a tough shot, and offensively we needed to execute. And that's really what it came down to. I thought if the best team who executed would win this game, and actually that's what happened. O.J. Freilich came up with some big baskets for us tonight. And, the whole team just played great. We made the extra pass, and we had a lot of fun tonight.
Do you think the fans added any momentum? We had quite a riot going on over there.
There's no question about it. That was a lot of fun. It's fun to coach in that kind of a game, and it's just a lot of fun out there tonight, and we owe a lot of credit to the crowd tonight.
All right, congratulations. I hear you guys are first in the conference now.
We are. We're on top by ourselves, and we're looking forward to the upcoming games, and we'll see what happens.
All right, congratulations on your winning. Good luck, Coach. Thanks a lot.
Okay, congratulations, Coach Van Haften, on another victory again tonight. This one, a very impressive victory at that against Upper Iowa, a 20-point win. And let's take a look at the stats of tonight's game. Okay, on the field goals, BV, 28 field goals to Upper Iowa's. Okay, BV on the bottom.
A lot of those field goals were 3-pointers for the Beavers. That's why the huge victory of margin of victory, and only the few differential between field goals.
Upper Iowa only hit, I believe, 2 3-pointers, and BV maybe close to 10. Free throws, BB got to the free throw line more, that 13-5. The foul situation, I don't know, the fouls, there could have been a lot more fouls than there was. That's the only thing I'll say about the refereeing tonight. Turnovers, Upper Iowa And look at the BB, only 8 turnovers. That's incredible to have your turnovers in single digits. And that's give credit to Nate Bjorken and Brian Schmalbeck.
Super job by the Beavers, and we wish Coach Van Haften and his team luck, as well as Coach Barry and all the other winter sports teams.
That's right. As we mentioned in the middle of our show, congratulations to the BB wrestling team for getting 3rd at their Cornell invite, and the track team opened off their season in indoor track in Vermillion. That went okay for the first time, and as a swimming team as well, as we interviewed a BB swimmer. And so I guess that about wraps it up for tonight. Both BB teams winning, and it's a full sweep for the weekend, and that hasn't happened too often, but it looks like it might this year, as both teams have now reached 9 victories overall for the year. So for Jared Okander, Stacy Miraz, and the rest of our crew here at Innovation Video Sports, this is Scott Heinley saying so long, and remember, our next telecast is Friday, January 31st.